Hello there BookTube, it's Janet, and this is slightly different, this video. This is my year of self-care. Obviously when the new year comes around you reflect on the previous year and you make your resolutions for the next year, and I can't say that I've particularly made any resolutions at all, but what I have is this feeling of this year is the year of self-care. I've realised towards the end, the latter half of 2017, that my self-care had fallen off the radar. It wasn't even on the agenda. I was seriously busy at work and I was tired and stressed, and the time to look after myself had completely just been overlooked. And I think then that makes it very difficult for you to deal with all the other aspects of your life. And so I started to feel, particularly as I'm getting older, that if I don't look after myself, the rest of my aspects of my life are going to suffer. So obviously, being a book lover, I chose to select some books that would help me with this process, and that's what I'm going to tell you about. Now, the first three I'm going to tell you about go against the grain with me somewhat. I usually steer clear of celebrities who write books, but I have to say that I was very, very impressed and drawn to Fern Cotton's books. And if you don't know who Fern Cotton is, she's on TV in the UK, she's on the radio, and she basically started off as a presenter as a teenager, and now she does things, she does some presenting and things on the telly. And obviously I'm always quite wary of it, but what I've found is that Fern's book Happy, which is the first one I've got to show you, it's all about how she talks about her own mental health issues, about she suffered with depression, and how sometimes just the little things, stopping and thinking, taking a little bit of time out for yourself, can tip the balance to make you feel happy again. I'll read you the blurb on the back. It says, Fern Cotton understands how important happiness is and why we need to seek it out each and every day. Determined to help break the taboo around mental health here for the first time, she opens up honestly about her own battle with depression and the little things that help keep it at bay, so she can continue trekking towards the good stuff. And so within this book there is Fern's story, but also there's like little exercises that you can fill in as you go. There's some exercise advice that you can follow, so I found this really useful, and it's like a little companion on my own journey. And then to go with that, I've bought and I bought a lot of people this for Christmas as well. This is Happy the Journal. I mean, it's an absolutely beautiful book. It's beautifully produced. It's broken up in months, but there's no year on it, so you can start it anywhere and work your way through. And each day there are little activity advice or little things to prompt you, they're just very short things that you can fill in. And say, for example, the first step to getting what you want is having the courage to get rid of what you don't want. So there's little quotes on it, and I'll give you an example of some of the activities and a lot of them are quite specific to the month that they're in. So for example, the 23rd of July, and every page is beautiful. It says, it's give yourself a break day. If you're trying to juggle too much, just let yourself off the hook and know it's okay for everything not to be perfect. And then there's an opportunity for you to write your thoughts down there. And it takes minutes to do each day. Which again, you know, you don't feel like it's a massive chore, but also it can tip the balance and just get you thinking in the right way that day, or even get you reflecting on your day. So I've really enjoyed doing that, and I've found it incredibly helpful. And then the third Fern Cotton book I've got to show you is this is Calm by Fern Cotton, and again this is a beautifully produced book. This is a hardback, and it's all about in fact, I'll just read you the blurb that Fern says on the back. Calm for me is less about thought and much more about feeling. It's a stillness that allows my lungs to expand like hot air balloons. It's an acceptance of the noise around me. It's a magic alchemy that might last a second or a whole day, where I feel relaxed yet aware, still yet dynamic, open yet protected. And again, this has got lots of lovely illustrations in it, and just some little thoughts and things that you can guide. But also, again, there's the some pages where you can actually fill in activities yourself. So again, that I thoroughly recommend. It's beautifully produced book. They're not actually that expensive either, particularly if you get them on Amazon. And I found it really supportive and useful. And then I've just got a few more to show you. And so again, I've got the Self-Care Revolution, and this is by Suzy Reading. And this, it sort of breaks it down into about some of the most important things that you can look at for self-care. So sleep, rest, relaxation and breathing, movement and nutrition, coping skills, physical environment, social connection, mood boosters, goal setting and accomplishment, and values and purpose. And it obviously, there's lots of blurb about it, but then I mean, again, it's these books are beautifully produced. This is what it looks like inside, with all the mapping of the different categories that I've just told you about. You've got opportunity to make notes to yourself in it as well. And again, little gems, and it's an absolutely beautiful book. There's little bits about exercise and diet and things in that. So again, this is just another good one that I've enjoyed dipping into. I've also got the Self-Care Project by Jane Hardy, and she is the CEO and founder of the Blurt Foundation, and this is how to let go of frazzle and make time for you. And I think really, for me, this is just what I need at this point in my life. And I think, we live in a very busy world. It does have a quote on the back from Jeremy Vine, who I love listening to at lunchtime, and it says, "From someone who's been there and got the t-shirt, these are precious, precious words on how you can emerge from the mental health abyss." And it just says, self-care is a tool accessible to us all, which helps us to take responsibility for our own happiness, our physical, emotional, psychological and social needs. In this important book, Jane Hardy argues that it's the best preventative measure available to combat overwhelmedness, stress and ill health in our hectic modern world. And again, there's lots and lots of help and advice in this book. There's also some activities that you can complete in it, and it just guides you through. But these kind of books are the things that you can just dip in and out of if you're having a particularly stressful day, or you can work your way through. You can refer back to them, and they're designed to be used. And then I've got the Self-Care for the Real World, and this is by Nadia Narain and Katia Narain Phillips, and this is a beautiful hardback edition. And it again, it says wellness pioneers Nadia and Katia have spent years helping others to feel their best, but it took them a bit longer to understand how they look after themselves. Here they share the small achievable steps they have learned and how you can apply them to your own life wherever you are. And this is like, the end papers. This is, again, a beautifully produced book. And I think what's important about these books is because they are so beautiful, they are books that you want to go to, that you want to read, that you want to touch because they feel nice, that draw you in, that actually make you happy just looking at them. There's some advice on this page, particularly about when you're ill, how to feel better. There are recipes in it. Yeah, another one that I thoroughly recommend. And then the final one I've got to show you is the Law of Attraction Planner. I don't know if you can see that. It's a beautiful sort of like embossed book, and this is a life planner, a success planner and a happiness planner all in one. This is a little bit more structured in that it just helps you work through your week. So it's got like a diary in it where you can it just helps you prioritise things, and it's about celebrating your achievements and setting goals, setting life goals. There's lots of tools for you to fill in, things like where am I now, where do I want to get to. There's loads of different activities, like a road map for you to follow, pull out pages like this. There's detailed instructions in the back on how you can fill it in. There's blank pages in it that you can just draw or write things down if you want to. At the end of each month there's a section where you've got celebrate your top 10 achievements. What did I learn this month? Anything that distracted me or mental blockers. How did I make myself feel good? What did not happen and why? You can track your exercises, your expenses. You've got any money saved, any self-help tips, any time you spent with your family, fun time that you had, meditation, did you develop a new habit, did you talk to a mentor, all those sorts of things. Bits where you can talk about people who've inspired you and what you've learned from them. So there's just so many different things that you can do in this book. So I'm just using these tools really just to help me keep focused and to give me some ideas. And I think the fact that it seems to be quite a big topic at the moment. There are lots and lots of other books along the self-care category as well out there at the moment, that it's almost like there's this recognition that actually we all just need to stop, look after ourselves. If we look after ourselves, the rest is going to be okay. So I'm going to be using these throughout the year. I've started already, finding them very useful. Sometimes I've got to stop myself to make time to go to the books occasionally, which in itself is a really, really useful thing for me to do, because it just leave that alone and come and look at your book, read some of this, fill this little bit in, get your thoughts together, and just that in itself has been really useful for me. So I'll let you know how I'm getting on. So that's it for now, BookTube. If you've got any thoughts that you'd like to share on this, let's chat in the comments down below. I will see you all soon. Keep reading. Bye!